Pause the pilot's body disposal scene. What looks like a routine moment is an accidental improvisation that quietly set the tone for everything that followed. A prop too heavy to lift rewrote television history. These are 20 hidden details you completely missed in The Sopranos. Number 20. Tony Soprano is one of the most iconic characters in television history, but almost no one knows who suggested the casting. Creator David Chase originally wanted E Street Band guitarist Steve Van Zandt for the role. HBO rejected him as unproven. Van Zandt came to audition anyway, spotted James Gandolfini waiting in the hallway, and told casting director Sheila Jaffe that Gandolfini should be Tony Soprano. Chase then wrote the character of Silvio Dante specifically for Van Zandt as a personal compromise. That character did not exist in the original pilot. Pause the opening credits of episode 1 and look closely. Silvio is simply not there because the character had not been invented yet. According to Vanity Fair, the man who cast Tony Soprano ended up playing a role created just for him. Number 19. The Sopranos title and its opening theme feel like they were always meant to exist together. They were almost both replaced. HBO executives pushed Chase to rename the entire series, The Family Man. Chase resisted, and so did Van Zandt, but the network would not budge until Fox launched the animated series Family Guy in January 1999, making the title unusable overnight. That external accident saved the name. Then HBO rejected Chase's plan to use a different song each week over the credits. Executive Carolyn Strauss insisted on a single consistent track, which led directly to the Alabama 3 theme that became inseparable from the show. Notice the title card in episode 1 and let that land. You are watching a name and a song that both survived entirely by accident. Number 18. The pairing of Lorraine Bracco as Dr. Melfi and Edie Falco as Carmela feels inevitable. Chase's original casting plan would have flipped them entirely. Chase offered Bracco the role of Carmela, directly mirroring her work in Goodfellas. Bracco called her agent the night before the meeting and refused. She told the production she wanted Dr. Melfi instead. The situation became more complicated when Falco was eventually cast as Carmela. In interviews, Falco admitted an Italian-American mobwife was not the first role she imagined for herself, and said she would have cast herself as Melfi instead. Both lead actresses independently agreed they were in the wrong role. Watch the season 1 therapy sessions with that knowledge. You are watching a casting configuration that every actress involved initially rejected. Number 17. Adriana Lacerva feels like a character built carefully from the ground up. Her actual origin is far stranger. During her audition, Chase told actress Drea de Matteo that she looked like a restaurant hostess, so he cast her as exactly that, an unnamed one-line hostess in the pilot with no story attached. After the episode aired, Chase called de Matteo back and made the hostess into Adriana, adding a line explaining Tony had arranged her job at the restaurant. De Matteo went on to win the 2004 Emmy for Outstanding Supporting Actress. Pause the pilot diner scene and look at the woman briefly in frame. She has no name yet. Actor Joseph Ganascoli followed the same path, appearing as a nameless bakery patron before returning as Vito Spatafor. Number 16. The sessions between Tony and Dr. Melfi look like a standard office setup. Production designer Bob Shaw built it as something far more deliberate. The room has no corners, it is a perfect circle, designed so neither character can retreat into shadow or geometry during a session. Cinematographer Alex Sakharov then added a second layer across all 6 seasons. Tony's face is progressively lit darker with each passing season, while Melfi remains consistently bright. Shaw confirmed the design choice to Variety, noting that a room with no corners makes a very different statement than one that does. Pull up a season 1 therapy scene and compare it directly to a season 6 session. Watch Tony's face specifically. Every therapy scene is a slow visual record of moral deterioration. Number 15. Tony and Carmela's bedroom looks like a standard display of New Jersey wealth. The wall above the bed is doing something else entirely. The large painting visible only at the edges of the headboard is a replica of Jacopo da Pontormo's The Visitation, a Renaissance work painted in 1528. The headboard deliberately covers most of it. Shaw confirmed each character's home was designed as visual autobiography. Uncle Junior's house is frozen in the 1950s because Shaw reasoned he took over his parents' home and never updated it. Christopher and Adriana's apartment is chrome and black leather. Elsewhere in the Soprano house, a hollowed-out Roman column holds Tony's ammunition. Look directly above the headboard in any bedroom scene. Only the edges of the Pontormo survive. The painting was never meant to be seen clearly. Number 14. The show openly references The Godfather's use of oranges as a visual signal for incoming danger. It quietly built its own version using a different food entirely. Eggs appear just before nearly every major loss on the show. Adriana offers to make eggs right before her fate is sealed. Ralph cooks eggs for Tony moments before their confrontation turns fatal. Carmine Lupertazzi collapses while eating egg salad. Valentina catches fire while preparing egg substitutes. Chase never formally announced this pattern. It was assembled by close viewers through years of rewatching. Anytime eggs appear near someone on screen, pause and note who is in the room. The pattern holds across multiple seasons. Once you see it, every kitchen scene in the series begins to read like a warning signal. Number 13. Season 1, Episode 5. College is considered one of the greatest television episodes ever produced. The conflict behind it nearly ended Chase's working relationship with HBO. Chase wanted Tony to locate and eliminate a former associate who had become a federal informant. HBO president Chris Albrecht warned the decision would permanently destroy viewer sympathy for Tony. Chase pushed back. If Tony found the man and did nothing, the show itself would ring false. Chase won the argument but accepted one condition. The informant had to be shown doing something harmful before the confrontation, making the outcome easier for audiences. Watch that moment carefully. That specific beat exists because the network required it, not the story. Brett Martin's Difficult Men confirms Chase called this his only concession and the one he regretted most. Number 12. The show's connection to real New Jersey organized crime was well documented from the beginning. No one expected that connection to be confirmed on a federal recording. In March 1999, an FBI informant captured DeCavalcante family member Joseph Sclafani watching the show and asking aloud if the series was supposed to be about his family. The fictional acting boss dying of stomach cancer directly mirrored the real DeCavalcante acting boss Jake Amari's death from the same illness. Executive producer Terrence Winter later confirmed that FBI agents told the cast and crew that organized crime members spent weekends discussing the show in detail. Those recorded conversations eventually became evidence in federal proceedings. Watch the Jackie Aprile storyline in Season 1 knowing real figures flagged at the moment it aired. Number 11. Tony Sirico plays Paulie Walnuts with complete conviction across the entire series. The condition he set before accepting the role explains exactly why that commitment never wavers. Sirico had been arrested 28 times before becoming an actor, and was a documented associate of a New York crime organization. He agreed to join the cast on one firm condition: his character could never become an informant under any circumstances. That condition was never formalized in a contract, but the writing staff honored it across all 6 seasons without exception. In 1999, the FBI photographed Sirico and co-star Vincent Pastore attending a crime organization event in Manhattan during active surveillance. Watch every scene where Paulie is cornered or pressured. The writers always find an exit that preserves the condition Sirico set. Number 10. After the pilot aired, a reportedly connected figure contacted the production with a specific objection. A boss, the caller insisted, does not wear shorts to a backyard gathering. The writers did not dismiss the note. They absorbed it and gave the exact complaint to the character Carmine Lupertazzi Sr. as a sharp judgment of Tony's leadership style. Executive producer Winter confirmed in published interviews that FBI agents told the production organized crime figures spent their weekends analyzing the show in detail. Those conversations later proved useful in federal proceedings. When Lupertazzi delivers the line on screen, pause and consider what you are actually watching. That dialogue is audience feedback from an unintended viewer converted into permanent script. The show was being reviewed in part by the exact people it was depicting. Number 9. The man in the members-only jacket at Holston's Diner in the finale has been debated for nearly 2 decades. That jacket is not a random wardrobe choice. Eugene Pontecarvo wears the same brand while carrying out a hit in the Season 6 premiere, an episode literally titled Members Only. Ray DiBaldo wears one while attacking Silvio. The diner man, played by Naples-born pizzeria owner Paolo Colandrea, walks toward the restroom in a direct visual echo of the famous gun retrieval scene from The Godfather. A casting director discovered Colandrea after spotting his headshot hanging inside his own restaurant. In a 2017 TV Line interview, Colandrea stated he cannot answer whether he eliminated Tony Soprano because of a signed contract. Pause the moment the diner man rises and notice precisely where the camera cuts next. Number 8. The pilot's body disposal scene established something essential about the show's entire tone. That scene exists because of an accident. When actor Vincent Pastore and Gandolfini attempted to lift a body bag into a dumpster during filming, the prop reportedly could not be moved. The prop department had made it too heavy. After multiple failed attempts, Pastore improvised a solution on the spot. The characters drove away, treating a serious problem like an annoying household chore. Chase kept the take. Actor Steve Schirripa, confirmed in the cast's oral history, woke up this morning that Chase famously did not permit actors to change or improvise dialogue. This remains one of the only unscripted moments in the entire series. Watch the pilot dumpster scene. The frustration visible on screen was completely real. Number 7. Pine Barrens is one of the most celebrated episodes in television history. Director Tim Van Patten conceived it from an actual dream he had during Season 2, in which Christopher and Polly became lost in the woods. Writer Terrence Winter urged him to pitch the idea before anyone else could claim it. A local politician then blocked the actual Pine Barrens location, forcing the crew to Harriman State Park in New York. That politician was later convicted of corruption. Chase and Winter developed a Season 6 scene resolving the Russian character's fate, but Chase canceled it the moment Winter mentioned fans would love the payoff. That reason alone was enough to cut the scene. Look closely at the tree line throughout the episode. You are watching New York, not New Jersey. Number 6. Nancy Marchand's portrayal of Livia Soprano was central to Chase's long-term vision for the series. Her passing in June 2000 forced a complete restructuring of the third season. Chase had intended Livia to testify against Tony in a federal case, extending the show's central conflict across multiple additional seasons. Instead, the production spent approximately $250,000 superimposing archival footage of Marchand's face onto a body double, using early CGI technology. Creating one final scene, Chase had originally planned to end Season 1 with Tony directly confronting Livia. Marchand's personal request to continue working while already battling lung cancer throughout production led Chase to extend the character further instead. Watch Livia's final appearance carefully. Her face does not move naturally with the room around her. That disconnection is the $250,000 compromise visible on screen. Number 5. The gap between Seasons 4 and 5 is one of the longest production pauses in the show's history. The reason involves a lawsuit and a private act of significant generosity. Gandolfini filed suit against HBO over contract terms. While negotiations stalled and his co-stars went without work, Gandolfini distributed more than $500,000 of his own money as personal bonuses to 16 cast members. HBO later structured the final 21 episodes as a single split season rather than 2 separate seasons. Chase confirmed this was a financial decision to avoid triggering another round of contract negotiations. That strategy failed. According to Tinderbox by James Andrew Miller, 2 cast members threatened to leave unless their salaries doubled. The pause left a mark on the series that a careful rewatch makes visible. Number 4. The final scene of the series is inseparable from its soundtrack choice. The creative decision behind that song is one of the most counterintuitive in the show's history. Chase had 3 songs shortlisted for the finale. When he played Journey's Don't Stop Believin' for department heads during a location scout, the response was immediate and unanimous rejection. That reaction, Chase later said, was exactly how he knew it was the right choice. Then Journey vocalist Steve Perry refused to approve the song because he did not want the Soprano family to face a violent ending. Perry's approval arrived 3 days before the finale aired. Chase identified one lyric as the deciding factor. The movie never ends, it goes on and on. Listen carefully to where in the song the screen cuts to black. Number 3. The final diner scene in Made in America has been analyzed for nearly 2 decades. The answer to what it means is built directly into the editing structure. Every time the diner door opens, the sequence follows a locked visual pattern. Tony's face, then his point of view of whoever enters. Then a reaction shot. This repeats for Meadow, for AJ, for Carmela. When the door opens one final time, the expected point of view shot does not appear. 10 seconds of silence and black replace it entirely. That black screen is Tony's final point of view. Chase confirmed in the Sopranos sessions by Alan Sepinwall and Matt Seitz that the phrasing was not accidental. Rewatch the scene and count every door opening. The pattern breaks exactly once. Number 2. The Sopranos feels purpose-built for long-form television. It began as a feature film concept built around 2 specific stars who were never actually available. Chase constructed the original idea around Robert De Niro as Tony and actress Anne Bancroft as Livia. De Niro was already committed to Analyze This, a separate film about a mobster in therapy that premiered the same year. Chase then pitched a television version. Fox passed, CBS expressed interest but objected to the therapy element, asking whether the psychiatrist was truly necessary. HBO agreed to everything without conditions. Watch the pilot knowing Analyze This and The Sopranos share nearly the same premise, and almost shared the same lead actor. According to the documentary Wise Guy David Chase and The Sopranos, every network except one said no to the psychiatrist. Number 1. The ending of The Sopranos is the most discussed final scene in television history. Chase's original concept placed the final moment inside the Lincoln Tunnel, cutting to black mid-passage, reversing the opening credits drive. The diner version came to Chase while driving near Los Angeles International Airport. He saw a small restaurant from the road and the sequence assembled itself. Chase confirmed in the Sopranos sessions that he designed the ending as a death scene 2 years before the finale aired. When asked if the phrasing was accidental, his answer was no. The member's only jacket, worn by the diner man, mirrors blocking Chase identified as his favorite moment in cinema. Watch the final 90 seconds without sound. The music stops mid-lyric, and the last image before black is an empty seat. The Sopranos rewards every rewatch. The circular therapy room, the eggs before every loss, the jacket worn across an entire final season. The editing pattern that breaks exactly once. David Chase built a show where even a prop too heavy to lift became part of the design. Which hidden detail surprised you most? And what film should we open next?